Hello everyone, greetings and salutations, it's Boxie Nigma here, hopefully you're there. Today we're going to be looking at the second game of the Divisional Playoffs, the first NFC matchup that we're going to be taking a look at. The last time we took a look at the physical matchup, that's going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the number 1 seeded Atlanta Falcons playing host to the number 6 seeded Green Bay Packers. And if you remember, I did say there's a chance this year for 2 number 6 seeds to make the Super Bowl. I'm going to stand by that prediction. I do believe there could be a chance, a decent one, that a number 6 seed could make the Super Bowl. And I firmly believe that the winner of this game between the Falcons and the Packers is going to be your representative in the Super Bowl for the NFC. Just don't really believe too fondly in the Bears. I'll get to that game next, but let's focus and digress here on this game. Falcons have proven time and time again that they can do it at home. You know, Matt Ryan seems to be really getting into his own, coming into his own as a quarterback. The defense is absolutely sick. I don't think they're absolutely for real. If you don't think the defense is for real, something wrong with you. I mean, the Falcons have done basically the same thing that the Patriots have done. But they haven't been as dominant, so they've kind of snuck along until like the second to last week of the season, having the same record as the Patriots. But because they aren't the Patriots, they haven't been getting nearly as much recognition that I do believe they are due, and I do believe they deserve. With that being said, Packers right now I think are running real high. Aaron Rodgers, great game against the Eagles. Eagles could have won that game. I really do believe that if Vic doesn't throw that interception, they end up coming out and winning that game. But the Packers played real hard. That defense is for real, absolutely. But it's going to be really difficult to head into Atlanta. Sorry. Excuse me, that was terrible. To head into Atlanta, a place that Matt Ryan, I believe, has only lost twice as a starter. It was only once until the Saints beat him in Week 16. And now you have all of this, you know, hoopla surrounding this home field advantage. I feel like it's a lot of pressure. But with all that being said, I believe at the end of the day, as much as it pains me to say it, I believe Atlanta does get the win here. I believe they don't want to be like a team like Kansas City was all those years, where they'd have a great regular season, they'd get to the playoffs and choke in the first round, or San Diego for that matter. A team like that in the AFC years ago who would get there and they'd have, you know, they'd be like 14-2, but no one really ever thought they were going to win. I think that this year they have a real good chance, especially with the Saints not in there, who's a team who they've always really, you know, struggled with. And even though I'd love to see Green Bay heading to Chicago in the NFC Championship, I just cannot see it happening. I think Atlanta has enough here with the rest. Turner's got a little rest. He's been banged up some part of the year. So I feel like with all of those intangibles, especially the fact that they do have a much better running game than Green Bay, I think that's going to be what it comes down to. Aaron Rodgers, you're having a great year, but eventually a great defense is going to catch on to the fact that Green Bay can only play the pass. The running back, you know, this guy James is good, but he's not Michael Turner, and I think that's going to be the difference in this game. The fact that Matt Ryan doesn't need to do as much as a quarterback as Aaron Rodgers does because Michael Turner can carry a much bigger part of the load. So, in my pick here, I think it's 2.5 points, which, in my opinion, if I'm an NFL team and I'm a home field team and it's not a 3-point advantage, I'm a little annoyed, especially if you're a team like the Atlanta Falcons, who is the number 1 seed. You want to be 4 or 5 point favorites, and 2.5, that's basically NFL, the bookies' way of saying that they believe that Green Bay's a better team, and that if Green Bay were home favorites, if Green Bay were home, they'd be the favorite in this game. So, with all that being said, I do pick Atlanta to win this game by 2.5. I think you take that spread, especially if you can get it before 3, and I believe that Atlanta's going to take the game. Despite me saying last week that David Akers was going to be the difference in that game, and he was. I said he was going to be the difference because of how great he was and he doesn't miss. Matt Bryant has proven to also be a kicker who doesn't miss, and I think that's going to play a part, especially in the Georgia Dome, a building where weather doesn't really come into a factor like it did in Philly last week. That's all the time I got for you this week. Again, my pick is Atlanta by 2.5. I'll be back tomorrow, or whenever else I decide to put all these videos up, with the breakdown of a very intriguing matchup, the Seahawks heading into Chi-Town to take on the Chicago Bears. I'm Boxie Nigma. You be well.